Hey, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. So in today's video, I wanted to have a very simple breakdown introduction to futures trading and prop firms. I've recently had a high influx of new subscribers to the channel and to the community, so I thought it would be kind of nice to do a brief intro to all of this in case it's your first time ever coming to the futures market trading space. Now, I love it here. I know a lot of other people love it here, so I'm very excited to talk about this. But as you can see from the title, it's going to be the most beginner-friendly version that you probably have ever and will ever watch because I like to keep things very, very simple. So with that being said, if you haven't already subscribed or liked the video or turned on your post notifications, make sure you do that, and then let's dive right in. So, what is futures trading? Futures trading is going to be when someone is betting on what the price of something will be in the future. The word future is literally defined as going to or likely to happen or exist, at least at a later time. So when you put futures and trading together, it's essentially putting a bet on something that you think will happen in the future, which is obviously betting on the price. Now, I included a very simple breakdown example, just so you guys can see with numbers' sake and with an item of how this all works. So let's say you think the price of coffee will go up in 3 months. So you and another seller agree on a price today that it's $5 per pound, even though you don't actually have the coffee right now and you're not sure if in fact 3 months that the price is going to go up. So let's say fast forward 3 months goes by, you initially got the coffee at $5 a pound, and now 3 months later, coffee's up to $6 a pound, which means for every pound of coffee that you purchased, you made $1 in profit. Now, let's say the opposite effect happens, where if price of coffee goes down in 3 months to only $4, that means instead of gaining $1 a pound, now you're losing $1 per pound. So yes, you may not be actually buying the coffee, but you are agreeing to what the price may be in the future and you're making a bet against that. So why would you want to trade futures? If that sounded too complex, or if it sounds too simple or maybe too boring, why would you want to trade in this market space? Well, let me first tell you about my experience first, because I know a lot of you guys come to my channel for just my trading journey and being able to see like how things have changed for me. But if I go back to my roots of when I first got into trading overall a couple years ago, it was such a hard place to be. I had test tried the waters from penny stocks to crypto to options trading. And let me tell you, with options trading, it was too complex with the Greek and the thetas and all that stuff. But for futures market, when I started here in November 28th, 2022, almost 2 years ago, I have found that this is the most simplest place to trade. Literally buy and sell. You don't have to have too much crazy stuff going on. And because it's so simple, like I said in the beginning, I'm a very simple person. So I found that this market is my number one favorite to trade compared to the rest. Even forex, I try to dabble a little bit. It just was too much with the different pairs and trying to understand the lingo, and this place, the futures market space, is so much more simpler. But on top of that, you can obviously make money if you're, doing the right things when it comes to trading. You can lock in prices from future price swings, and this is more specific for businesses, just like the example I gave you about the coffee per pound. A business that's able to lock in $5 per pound where, in 3 months the price of coffee goes up and you didn't make a bet against that, then obviously you are saving money and preserving your capital by locking in the price today. And then finally, the barrier for entry on the different futures platforms is actually much more feasible and easier to get into, and we'll talk about that in the next coming slides. So what's the catch, right? If futures trading, this market is so much more simpler, then what's the catch to it all? And how much money is it really enough to get started to day trade? So to really answer that question, first we have to talk about risk. So just like anything in life, there's always going to be a risk to reward. There's going to be pros and cons. There's going to be two sides of the coin, essentially. So if we are talking about betting the price of something to go up, then of course, if the price does not go up in the direction that you're betting for, then ultimately you would lose money, and vice versa. If you're betting for the price to go down and it doesn't go down, instead it goes up, then of course you would lose money there. Essentially, any kind of bet that you place, there's going to be an opposite buyer or an opposite seller. So if you are trying to buy into the market to make the market go up, then there's going to be an opposite person wanting for it to go down. Sadly, there's going to be someone that loses money at the end of that transaction, but that's just the name of the game. That's going to be for any market cycle, any market, forex, options, penny stocks, crypto, anything that you decide to partake in when it comes to trading. There's always going to be losses, and there's always going to be someone on the opposite side of what you're trying to bet for. But now let's go to the second question. How much money is really enough? So I hate to break it to you, but really this is more so a question that you have to define and answer for yourself. So what I can do is give you a quick outline. So a very common path that traders tend to take is, well, one, they would start with a free demo account on a platform of their choice. For me, I started off with Tradeovate. They have a free demo account that you can sign up for. You don't have to put any money into it at all. And because it's a paper trading account, you don't actually lose or gain any money at all. So let's say on your paper trading free demo account, you made $500 on the day. That doesn't mean you actually get to withdraw the $500. It's just fake, completely imaginary money in that account. And also for the opposite idea, if you lose $500, you're not actually losing anything. It's completely free, completely fake. But it's a great way to start and to essentially, one, get your feet kind of wet in the water, to test drive if you like that platform, to test drive if you like the instrument you're trading, test drive your strategy, all that stuff, right? This is the perfect place to really practice what you've been studying for, what you've been preaching about, and putting, your name to the game. Now, once you do feel comfortable, of course, to move out of a paper trading demo account, most typically people move into a personal live. And a personal live is what we were just discussing, where you get to decide ultimately how much money really you can afford to put into this account. How much money are you essentially willing to lose? Now, I'm not here to say that you're going to lose right off the bat. What I'm trying to say is that in this personal live account, when you put your hard-earned money, if it's your life savings, it's your active income, it's the money you put on the side, your recycling money, whatever it is, any single penny that you put into this personal live account, it's always going to be at risk for a potential loss. Because as I said, there's always going to be losses in the game of trading, and that's just the way it is. So because of that, I want to say that you get to decide how much you're willing to accept with losses. I can also say that from my experience and other traders I personally know, and traders across the space in general, you can start from anywhere from possibly a few grand all the way up to, double that or triple that, 5,000, 10,000, maybe even 1,500 starting on micros. Really depends. But that's when we kind of want to segue into this next conversation of prop firms. Because with prop firms, I'm telling you right now, the advancements of them with their technology and everything, the timing couldn't have been better. Because now is the best time to be a trader, especially in the prop firm space. So now let's move on to prop firms. So prop firms have changed the name of trading. And how is that? Well, first, let's get into the definitions of what a prop firm is and what's the role of both, the traders and the prop firm themselves. A proprietary trading firm, prop firm for short, is a company that uses its own capital to trade financial instruments. Financial instruments can go anywhere from, corn, wheat, oil, all the way to the NASDAQ or the ES and other instruments in between. Now, prop firms trade their own money, but they also act as a middleman between you, the trader, and the market, where it brings in traders to use their capital to make money, and in exchange, depending on the performance of the trader, those traders are able to take a share of their profits. Now, looking at a trader's role specifically, depending on which company that you go in, some companies offer full-on live accounts if you pass their certain tests and challenges. Other companies offer evaluations that move into sim funded, that move into a live, or they offer a straight to sim funded and then a live account. You get to trade that prop firm's capital, whether it's live or sim funded. And depending on how you perform with respect to their rules and their risk management system, you may be able to take either some, most, or the full 100% percentage of the profits that you make. Now, for a prop firm, you might be thinking like, hey, what's in it for the prop firm if they're giving traders a chance to make more money and take home some of that money too? Well, because prop firms are allowing this opportunity for traders to, trade a higher amount of capital and take some money home, the prop firms are able to win, where if the traders prove to the company that they are worth to keep around, that they are proven to be a track record star with trading, then of course the prop firm is going to make money off of what the trader uses, whether they're copy trading what the trader's doing, or if they do give the trader a live account and they're just simply, letting them use the house account and growing that account for the company themselves. But in any case, there's always going to be rules in place to ensure the traders are adhering to a risk management plan, and so that the traders aren't losing either as much or as often when it comes to their profits. However, if a trader doesn't respect a prop firm's rule or their risk management plan, they might either get stopped out of their position or their account. So the first benefits of using a prop firm is the costs. It's very, very affordable to actually get into prop firms. Some companies offer 90% off, other companies are 50% off, but there's always some type of deal going on depending which one you go with. Now, the financial capital to start your own personal live is actually quite high. So I know earlier we're kind of briefly talking about how much money is enough to get started. It really depends on which financial instrument you're going to be trading, depends on the brokerage that you're going to be going with, depends if you're doing micros versus minis, and also what kind of trader are you? Are you going to be scalping, where you'll take a lot more commissions and fees for every trade that you place? Or are you going to be holding it a lot longer, like overnight, where that does require an even higher amount of margin as well? So the great thing with prop firms is that this isn't your own personal live account, right? So the access to get into it doesn't have to be $5,000. The barrier to entry is very, very low. The cost is super low to have access to so much more. So that leads into the second thing, which is leverage. Now you have access to so much more size. You can have access to 5 contracts, 50 micros, 10 contracts, or 10 minis, I should say, or 100 micros. You're always going to have more access to more leverage, which means just more higher sizing and more higher contracts that you have depending on the size of account you purchase. And now this is a really big benefit because should you decide, hey, maybe I don't want to go into a higher amount of contracts, I don't want to do 20 contracts on one trade, then you have the choice to be able to scale horizontally. So instead of placing 20 contracts on one account for one trade, now maybe, let's just say as a hypothetical, you're with 4 different firms, total of 5 accounts, and each firm, that's 20 accounts, and you can do 1 contract per account. So instead of you having such a higher risk all at once on the table with 1 account on 1 trade, now it's 20 separate accounts on 20 different trades with 1 contract only. So a 10-point loss is only $200 on the NASDAQ versus if you do 20 contracts on 1 account with a 10-point loss, like it's a lot more. So the third benefit of joining a prop firm is less personal financial risk on the table. So with that, as I mentioned with personal live accounts, depending what you put in there, with the hypothetical here of putting $5,000 up front, if you do end up losing that full $5,000 in that one account, that's all of your own hard-earned money. That's point blank period, right? There's no gray area in that. If you lose the $5K all in one trade or one day or 1 week, it's gone. Versus if you go into a prop firm and you spend $80 for 1 account and you pass and you move on to be a funded trader, and let's say you lost that funded account. Technically, you're only down $80, so you still have $4,920 more dollars to spend before you're actually wiped out. So you have that many more dollars to spend on more accounts if you want to. So that's technically less personal capital on the table when you're going through a prop firm. And this does give you a possibility of making more money with less expense. Sometimes one payout, like you've seen in my journey, one payout can literally cover everything that you've spent within 1 to 2 years and put you in the profits. And in the interest of prop firms, and with Thanksgiving being right around the corner, I am super duper excited to announce that I have partnered with My Funded Futures to host a big giveaway, and that big giveaway will be announced in my next upcoming video within the next few days. So when that video does release, make sure you watch it all the way through for a chance to win a free account. You don't want to miss it, I promise you, it's going to be a big one. So make sure you do turn on your post notifications and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's go ahead and get back to the video. And then finally, the fourth benefit of choosing to join a prop firm is the ability to develop your trading and your risk management skills. With trading, when you start off with a demo account and you get really good in a demo account where it's all fake money, you can't win or lose really anything, it's all paper trading and imaginary, sometimes for some people like myself, we're not able to really connect to when we win or lose. Some people just tend to have different reactions when you have real skin in the game. So with an evaluation account, you're spending $80 to have that. That's your skin in the game, the $80. Versus if you have a paper trading account, a full-on demo account, there's no skin in the game. There's nothing there. So even if you perform well there and you get used to it, once you move into a live account, we have seen countless times of people saying like it's been so much harder to transition from demo to a personal live, and I tend to lose more in a personal live. I have much more emotions in a personal live, and that's because simply there's skin in the game. You have actually something that you're losing that's at risk. And then finally, not only do you have access to all of their resources, whether it's their trading journals they include on their softwares, or all of their forum boards where a bunch of other traders are located in, or all the videos that they include breaking down different strategies or talking about platforms or talking about the market, or real live trading sessions and webinars during the market news. You also have access to all the other traders in the community. Now you can actually connect with people that understand what you're going through. So you don't have to be alone in this. Trading is already a very hard, difficult, lonely thing to do. There's a bunch of things that are stacked against you essentially to try to push you to think that you can't do it. But when you have other traders in this space that you've connected with through these different resources, now not only are you able to meet fellow people that can show you what they're doing and maybe inspire you to try out their strategy that might work better. They can also give you tips on improving your trading psychology or even your trading mental and emotional capital. You also have the ability to just talk openly to people that understand what the journey is. So the simple process to join a prop firm, depending which one you pick, is simply research the firms that you are interested in that are available to trade with. You got to figure out which one is the best for you. So step 2 is obviously identifying the right prop firm, the right platform that really meets the criteria that you're looking for and that you feel comfortable and that you trust. Because at the end of the day, you're putting your hard-earned time and your money into that said place. The third thing is to go ahead and start off, of course, with that firm or that platform. Sign up through their website. They should have all the very easy steps. And then finally, start trading, right? Start getting into the flow of things. As time goes on, make sure you are making and taking your profits out. Pay yourself. It's so important to pay yourself as a trader. And let's go on to this next question that you might already be thinking to yourself this entire time. What's the catch? If a prop firm is willing to give all these different traders in the world the chance to make all of this money, take a profit or a percentage of the profits home, what is the catch? There's no catch. Honestly, there's really no catch. From my experience being in the prop firm space over the last almost 2 years now, the biggest thing is for you to do your own research. Just like how you do research on the kind of shoes you might want to buy or the food that you want to cook or even the places that you want to visit and travel to. Just do your honest research, your due diligence to know the ins and outs of that specific prop firm that you're interested in, and also consider other people's experiences. Now, everything that I talked about earlier about the benefits, if any of those 4 bullet points and all of that discussion I said attracts you, then the prop firm space is possibly a great place for you to be. So to summarize on the concept of prop firms are here to provide more capital access to traders to trade financial instruments, and in return, those traders receive a profit split based on the performance and based if the trader does respect the rules of the prop firm. Prop firms do provide more access to leverage, trading tools and platforms, educational resources, and the access to a bigger community and a bigger network of traders. And then finally, there is less personal risk on the table, and if working with prop firms is done accurately, you may have the ability to make more income. So futures trading with a prop firm can be a game changer, but it's important to treat it with the same level of seriousness and discipline as any other high-stakes trading environment. So if you're with the prop firm, if you're not with a prop firm, at the end of the day, treat it like a business and really try to take it serious and try to grow this thing, because trading really could change your life if you execute on your own plan and if you execute on a higher level to be able to get to that higher level of success. Thank you so much for your support. Whether you've been here since the beginning the last 2 years or if you just joined from this video today, I'm super grateful for your time and your support. And as always, I do wish you nothing but the best and the most success in all that you do. And I will see you all in the next video.